Welcome to another episode of the Over and Out Show with Dylan and Ryan, video pros.
Hey, he's connected. He's connected. What's
I
happening?
think
I
feel
wasn't.
we
I wasn't ready.
You said 6:15. I mean,
No, I know. But my thing was, I was ready to rock. Stuck the headphones on, and I was like, I'll hit record, and then I saw you ringing, and I was like, oh, cool. So I switched the headphones on, ready to rock. I was gonna go headphones, record,
Yeah.
and then I answered him, and for the first time in the history of humanity, Bluetooth connected immediately.
well, we can't start
So-
every episode talking about
No.
Bluetooth. I think we have to put a cap on it because it's like people just go, "Oh, they're moaning about Bluetooth again."
And maybe they're in here for the Bluetooth chat.
Well, they leave after the
You know?
first minute.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's that. Bluetooth's on. We're here,
Well,
and we're doing
I'm just
stuff.
pouring a beer.
We're doing stuff. How are you? How was your
doing
day?
Some stuff. It was good. It was
I
really good. Been filming
I
all
see
day.
you have a rig built now.
Or half built. Yeah, it looks
It does
good, doesn't
look
it?
good.
I put a monitor on it. Makes it look pro. But you know what the problem was? It's one more battery to deal with.
You know the
So
other thing.
the next step is I'm gonna look at a Z battery to run everything off one big
Yeah,
battery.
because you know that monitor you have, it's got, well, the one I
Yeah.
have, you've got the different size of the battery, right? And obviously, if you want the one that lasts for ages, it's really long and super cumbersome. But if you want the one that's like nice and light, it only lasts about half an hour or so. So you have to take lots of little ones and change them, or take one big
Yeah.
one and just do some more push-ups, or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. It was already a heavy enough rig.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm drinking this thing here.
What is that?
It's a modest beer, same as I had last time, but it's a Sabro. All right, almost tropical. It says on it.
Almost.
I've been looking forward to this all week. Yeah,
I
it's like
I don't want
is it a
almost.
wild
I
hop?
want fully tropical.
Comes from
Does it come?
a wild hop variety.
Is it part of the Umbungo franchise?
Oh man, it is
Fruity.
pineapple.
Ooh.
It is pineapple.
I do like a citrus beer IPA thing, so yeah, I might try that.
Wow, that is tropical. So
Yes.
yeah, things. I felt like I had something to say to you there, fully regarding gear, and then you were like, "Oh, in response to your message, in response to my Instagram story,
Oh, about the cable.
obviously, if you'd like to see about the cable, yeah, I posted a photograph today of like my rig sitting on the table, right? But there was a bit of the cable like curled. Now, the funny thing is, I was 100% aware when I put that camera down and took that photo.
Yeah.
But it's funny how when you look back at the photo, you're like, oh, that's going to drive some people berserk. Because I looked at it, there was absolutely no pressure on the cable at all, right? But for those on the video things, this is the worst way to show you this. Like, if that was the table, the cable was like, looks like it's being pressured down, right? It's not being pressured down. There was no pressure on that cable at all. It was just curled because it's sitting up on the block plate thing. But I knew that there'd be somebody going, holy shit balls, Dylan. Why the fucking hell are you...
Arguably, though, if it's curled that way, it means you haven't been putting it away properly.
No, it's curled that way because that's the way I curled it, so it could plug
So
back
put
in.
it away properly.
No, I plugged it. It couldn't go. It was plugged into the camera. Like it was connected to the side of the rig, and then the
know.
cable
It doesn't.
cable had to go
doesn't
down and back
Doesn't
up.
matter. Doesn't matter.
I'm just doing some levelage adjustments.
Okay. Good. Anyway.
I came in close.
Anyway, rigs aside, we can talk about that later on another podcast we'll never make about gear.
Okay.
I wanted to bring up a subject of, we can discuss, original thought.
Right.
And
So is this your own idea you want to talk about?
I did see a YouTube video. I saw a video the other day on the internet, and you know how I'm pretty negative as it is. Or I come from a more critical side, right? I criticize and I go, actually, all these are it's totally the wrong way around to do it. You should look at all the good things and then look at the bad things. I do it the other way around. I don't know why. Maybe it makes me happier. So there we go. But anyway, I saw this video online, and I'll be honest, it was pretty good, but there were lots of flaws with it. Personally, again, it's all subjective, so this is just my opinion. I thought there were lots of flaws with it. And I don't think they're the kind of flaws that were completely unobvious, if you know what I mean. So like, I'm thinking, well, if I'm thinking this, other people should be thinking this. So then you watch the video, but then you go down, look in the comments, and everyone goes, oh, amazing video. You know, this is so good. Editing's amazing, blah, blah, blah. It's all, you know, the story's great, this, that, the other. And I'm looking down going, and I'm sure as well, YouTube probably pushes all the positive comments up to the top and then pushes down the nastier ones, I guess, as well. I'm sure it does do that. But then I was looking down going, everyone just thinks this is awesome. And don't get me wrong, it was a pretty good video. But did it warrant all of this kind of high praise, as it were? And there was not one person going, it's a bit shit, really, a bit too long, you know. And the thing is that what my thought was, because I'm not the kind of person that would go then and go, I wouldn't even want to be, you know, actively critical to someone about their video or their work. Certainly not writing it online. I mean, if we were speaking to each other, you know, like we do, you show me some of your videos and I'm like, well, I think you should have done this and that. And, you know, and you'd go, oh, okay, fuck you. I don't care. But whatever, you know, it's more of a personal conversation rather than you just venting online, which I don't really like doing. Because as my grandmother said, if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Fuck off. All right.
Well, that. And then she shot herself. Yeah. So my question is that when you watch a video like this, and then you go to comment about it, do you then scan the comments and then go, oh, well, I thought it was kind of okay, but now everyone else is saying it's really good. So should I say it's really good as well? And then does it distort your initial thought of what you wanted to write down?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So
I'm with
basically
you.
It's like, it's a general bias. It's a bit like, you know, when a movie comes out, like, I don't know, an Avengers movie or whatever, and everyone goes to see it, and everyone you see says it's amazing. So then you go into that movie with the precursor of that it's going to be amazing. In my head, I usually go, right, okay, I'm going to find everything that's wrong with this. But for other people, do they just go, oh yeah, that was really awesome? You know, so there's that general consensus, if you know what I mean. So is anyone, like, for example, if I showed you a video and you didn't see any comments, you had no one else's input on it, you know, and then you wrote a comment or you gave your feedback on it, would it be the same as had you'd had the feedback of everyone else's comments or someone else's opinion? So is your thought original when you're talking about something, or is it actually guided by the masses? I think I got around there in the end.
Right.
So do we have original thought? And if we do have original thought, is it, do we actually say it because we're too scared of not following the tribe?
Yeah. So there's two things going on there. One, are we thinking originally, or are we being swayed by the masses? Two, are we saying what we originally think, or are we bottling it and going with the masses? Because it's, and you know what, actually, you're obviously talking about YouTube video here. So that can also be applied to life.
Yeah. No, it's just because this YouTube came up video, and I know we've had a brief discussion about it before. This YouTube. Oh god, that's worse than saying the YouTube, isn't it? This YouTube. Anyway, I was watching this YouTube video on the podcast is, and we've had a brief discussion about it. But no, I think it goes with anything. Like, so if you go to an art gallery and everyone says this painting's amazing, and you're like, well, actually, yeah, it is pretty good, isn't it? You know. So it can, and with life. So go on. What were you going to say? Because it was like just
I was gonna go. I don't want to go into it, but I was gonna say like a really good relevant example is the whole situation of life that's happening right now.
What's going on right now?
You're saying, you know, well, we don't speak of it, but because if we speak of it, then we get flagged, so we don't use the word.
Yeah.
Right?
We can't even use the word to describe what that is.
Yeah, yeah. But that, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes like I have my thoughts and opinions on what it is. And then someone's like, what about Voldemort? And then I go, yeah. And then as I got to say my thing, they say their thing. And then you go, oh, don't feel like I should. Either I don't feel like I should say my opinion
Yeah.
now, or I'm not sure if that is my opinion anymore. But the YouTube thing is really interesting because I think you're right. Like, and I think I know what video you're talking about, and it's some. I mean, yeah, I don't really like commenting on people's content in a negative way for no reason. I don't.
No, I don't either.
I just don't think it. I don't like. My kind of vibe on YouTube comments, right, is like, tell them or me if you like it, and if you don't like it, just keep stum.
But also at the same time, if you don't like it because there's information in there that you deem to be incorrect, or you have a different opinion,
Factually,
yeah, you can say, actually,
Yeah.
in my experience, X, Y, Z, and you can go, oh, okay, see, they didn't not like the video, but you know they have
Yeah.
a different opinion, and I'm okay with that. But if it's constructed properly,
Yeah.
you know, and you're not just going, oh, load of
Yeah.
shit, you know, because
Yeah, exactly.
I
if it's your opinion,
because I think lots of things out there are shit, but it's just my opinion. But I'm not gonna just go out there just to trolling because I got better things to do, to be quite honest. I just can't be bothered.
debatable.
Well, yeah, actually,
But-
at the moment, yeah.
But you're right. But you're right, because, by the way, this whole episode, I've just fucked around with my microphone. Nothing's. I'm a shambles today. I'm a shambles. But you're right, because the thing is with it is that you give your opinion on something, and it's like, right, if it's an open discussion, if the creator who makes the video or whoever it is puts the video out and says, like, give us your thoughts, all right? And it's an open discussion video, fine. But I think sometimes you'll be scrolling through a video and somebody just writes, "This is shit." You're like, brilliant.
Do
Absolutely
you
great.
agree?
The problem
with
is
deleting those comments, negative comments.
I think if it's just completely pointless, like if the person like clearly just doesn't like you, or they're just like they just write dickhead or you're an absolute idiot,
Yeah.
then remove it. But if it's like constructive feedback, no, I don't think you should delete it. I think if it's factually wrong and they've said something to correct it, or they've given a constructive opinion, but then, sometimes you can stick your constructive criticism up your jam roll as well. Because, sometimes
Yeah.
like I know, I mean, I get loads of feedback on Instagram. Instagram stories is an interesting one because I get a lot of feedback on those, and a lot of it's kind of cool and funny, but there's always someone with an opinion.
Yeah.
And a good example is put a problem up about a Mac, and some twat always says, should have got a PC.
God, I hate that.
Fuck those people.
To
But
be fair,
also,
though,
there's
when
always,
anyone says, "Oh, this PC," I'm like, should have bought a Mac.
yeah, and I do think that.
Yeah.
But I don't message them that because, dick move.
Yeah.
It's like every single human being who puts a video up on the internet and says, "Oh, Premiere Pro is frozen," or "Only 400 hours until Premiere Pro exports my half-hour video. I want to write, just use Final Cut and stop fucking around." But it doesn't matter. Like they're just using what they're using, and that's
Yeah.
it. If that question is like, what should I use, then my feedback's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you get into the
It is-
point of just
it
like
is weird,
saying,
though.
just giving.
Because why would you post that? Because that gets into a whole level. It's like, oh, you're saying, oh, Premiere Pro, taking 4 hours again. Like, what's the point of that post? Because everyone knows that, and anyone that doesn't know that will find out pretty soon the moment they start using it. So what is that? Are they looking for a reaction? What are they looking for in that? Or is it just
don't think any of
entertainment?
us-
Is it just going, this is happening, just don't talk
used
to me about it.
loosely. Yeah. Hey, folks,
Well,
having a wank day. Don't even chat
I'm
to
having
me.
a wank today.
This
Just
is-
don't look at me.
Well, Premiere Pro is exporting. I'm knocking
Yeah.
one out. Don't
Right,
even chat to
one,
me.
maybe 10.
Um,
in
Yeah, if it's Premiere Pro, yeah, exactly. If you're using After Effects, you'll be there all
Yeah.
week. But
Very
the
sore.
thing is,
wow,
like,
that went low real quick. Didn't it?
I put I put a story up yesterday, all right, which was about some delivery I got with some cables.
Oh, that
right?
was
It was like,
yeah.
fuck me, it was long, wasn't it?
It was a bit on the long side, yeah.
It was long. It was 3 minutes, but it felt like an hour.
The thing is, as well, when you said patch cables, I looked at the length of those cables and I was like, they're a bit long for patch cables.
Yeah, they were quite long. I mean, and I looked at the length and I was like, do I need that? But they're actually, I used one today. It's perfect. But the point of it was that video initially when I did it was like, when I edited the first draft was like 5 minutes. And I was like, and I just kept cutting things out. I got to 3. I got it to 3 minutes, edited it, and then just went, can't be fucked, and just deleted it, the whole thing.
Oh.
All right. And then like, it was edited and ready to go at like 4, and I didn't post it till about 9 at night. And I wrote like earlier today because I watched it back at that time, and I was like,
by the way, I'm just saying.
what?
Had you seen that somewhere before? Was that an original thought, or had you seen?
That was 100% an original.
I'm pretty
thought.
sure I've seen in a movie,
Wow.
like when something happens, it goes earlier that day. So did you really think of it?
Well, no, probably not. Then it was 95%.
It was
original
original at the time I thought it.
Yeah, at that exact time, I was the only guy thinking it. But do you know, like, I didn't give a fuck about that video. I was like, this is just stupid. This is just me opening a box of cables. And then I questioned myself, and I was like, and this is answering the question you just asked. What are people posting? It's like, what are we posting? Is it entertainment? And I was like, and I said to myself, right, do you know what? I'll post that story, and now I need to just rein this shit in, because it's got to have a point. And I felt like that one didn't have a point. I just sort of did it to do it. So people posting about Premiere Pro because it's shit are just posting because they don't. It's that whole. I blame Gary Vaynerchuk again.
That guy.
Fucking Gary V. Someone shout him out, tell him to come and join the podcast for a chat.
When you say
a bone to pick
yeah,
with
but you say join the podcast for a chat, he'll just talk at us for half an hour and then leave.
Yeah, he will.
And
he
he'll
will.
be just, and at the
He
end
will.
we're like, just fucking do it, and then leave.
Yeah, he'll just end up super pumped, and we'll be sitting there going,
Wow.
"What? We should get him to chat to the Flat Earth guy. Get Dave from Flat Earth to chat to Gary V. We could leave."
There's what
of
if
them.
Gary V's a flat Earth guy there?
Is he?
I don't know. Is he?
That would be interesting. But here, those two talking at each other for an hour.
I
Brilliant.
can't wait to see that
But
conversation.
yeah, convo. But yeah, I think the thing with him is like that idea we should always be posting. That's all it is, isn't it? It's like we all feel like we should be posting all the fucking
Actually,
time.
I was
It's
watching
like,
a
do you know
video
what?
today, and it was all about. Have you ever read Austin Kleon's book, Show Your Work? Have you read that? It's like
no, but I know the book
it's
you're
the
talking
yellow
about.
book with the black writing, and that basically talks about that. And this guy was saying, yeah, this is, he was getting all in his head about should I do this, should I not do this, and he read that book and he said it completely changed his life. And it's basically people showing your work, and I think there's a problem in there somewhere where there's a difference between, like, let's say if you want to learn how to draw and you show your progression of what you're learning to draw, because you as a beginner possibly arguably have more to teach someone that also wants to start, because there is I think it's called the curse of genius or something, or curse of knowledge, which is basically when you become an extreme pro at what you're doing, you forget what it was like to be a beginner, and then you can't speak to people on that level. So a lot of people watch, you'll try and teach them, and you're like, oh, you're an idiot. What do you mean you can't pick up a pen? They're like, oh, but how do I hold the pen? What do you mean you don't know how to hold the pen? That kind of thing. And
Well, big shout out to my buddy Marcus Mayer, because literally was chatting to him about this 2 days ago.
he just started cutting hair,
explaining
didn't
to
he?
him. Well, yeah, and I was saying, literally said this to him. I was like, this is the time to teach because you're learning.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, that's actually the best time to teach.
Yeah, it is.
Is while you're learning, because once you get to a point where you know what you're doing, you haven't got a clue how to speak to the people who are learning.
But that's also what we moan about all the time. And
Yeah,
and people
it
like
is.
Yasmin as well. When she does her fitness stuff, and she's trained in it. All her friends are trained in it. Then you get the little, the blonde-haired stereotypes in their bikinis going, "I'm just going to do a yoga pose," and you're like, "Oh my god, your form is terrible." But they've got like 50,000 followers, all following this terrible yoga posing, And it's like, but you're learning, or are you just publishing shit? Who knows? But like with your friend Marcus, I think it's very valuable to do that at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but I think what was back to the point was that I think people are misconstruing show your work for just put any old shit out there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, especially when people on the stories go, "What do you want to see today?" And it's like, really? Have we got to that point now? And it's just.
But do you not think that's a split though between? I think there's a funny world here where there's people who create. I don't want to use the word art, but there's people who create, and there's people who like construct. That's a good way of looking
Create
at it.
or construct.
Creators and
And
constructors.
can I just Google that, see if anyone's thought of that before, see if it's an original thought?
Because because there's create and document and all that bullshit,
Yeah.
like, and all that stuff.
Jesus.
But I would always say most of what I do is creation. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it's creation. Whereas I think there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube now, who are constructors, who build a video based on a map or a blueprint.
Algorithm.
And that's not an algorithm. That's not to take away from them. Actually, a prime example, right, is
Sorry.
Gerald Undone.
Undone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, Gerald Undone. Something crazy.
I
Is that
can't wait
it?
until he sees he's been tagged in this and ignores it completely. Going,
Yeah.
who are these fuckers
Now-
with opinions? And so,
I'll be honest, when I first saw Gerald Undone, I was like, I don't fucking get this dude. Like, I don't understand. Like, who's this aimed at? Like, why is he going into so much depth? And then I actually watched a few of his videos and made purchases based on his
but
videos.
isn't he?
And I was like, oh, I get it.
Doesn't
I get
he
it
go
now.
into the realm of something like I read the manual so you don't have to? Is that not what you said?
Yeah. I mean, you've just literally given... that was our little bit of gold there, and you've just given it to the internet.
Oh shit!
But,
no
you
one's
know.
listening, or are they?
You heard it here first,
I
folks.
just can we
I
date
read the internet. I read the
Can we
internet.
date stamp this?
I read the manual, so you don't have to. That is a idea that we had for a YouTube channel, where it's like, do you know what? This is what a lot of people are doing. People are buying products and just like reading the manual effectively, and then just telling you that shit. And do you know
It
what?
works.
There's a place for it, because you know what I don't ever do? Read a fucking manual. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
like yesterday I was looking through my Tascam audio recorder going, what the fuck does this mean? And I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a manual somewhere that I just fucked into a blue bin with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a place for it, and I think it's like there's a lot of depth, but I think he's a good example of a constructor. He takes information, technology, and he constructs a video, because it's not like
I think
If you
do
know what I
you
mean,
know
it's
what you know what I
construction.
say,
Does
and
that make
I don't want
sense?
to, because what he offers a lot of value online, so I don't want this to I
Yeah,
don't want
he
this to be
does.
misconstrued, but like
yeah,
there's a certain accolade or a certain status he's given, which I don't think is the correct status. As in, I feel that he's given this very omnipotent kind of creator status, and it's like, no, he's just really fucking good at getting down at the tech. He's not a creator
Yeah.
at all. Like, well, yes,
Okay.
okay, you can create. The moment you switch on a camera, the moment you pick up a pen, you are a creator, if you want to get, like, be all pedantic about it. But like, he doesn't do creative videos. Like, he will never make a short film, probably. And I don't expect him to. Why would he? Because he
No.
does the tech shit. But it's that
So
perception.
where does Marques Brownlee then sit with that? Where do you think he is?
Well, again, he's like,
Either way, by the way, we've potentially just lost everyone's attention now. Talking about this, but yeah.
Well, no.
MKBHD.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could think of some more. Like, maybe we can just we'll go back to TV in a sec. I don't know, something that's a bit more, global. I don't. Well, Marcus, I don't watch a lot of his stuff, to be honest. But when I do, I watch it because I know that if he's reviewing the new iPad, he sits on the borderline of being very tech, but at the same time very functional. Whereas I find Gerald Undone is too tech for me. It's like, can I attach this lens to my camera? Will it shoot? I'm all good, Gerald. I don't give a fuck if cine tones on it or not. Because you know what? I'll fix it in post.
Even though it is now. yeah.
But on the same time, like when I was buying my iPad that I just got, the first person I went to read about it was Marques Brownlee.
MKBHD.
And then
Yeah,
he
of course.
confused me even more because he said they're all really good. So it's just like, oh
I
god,
know,
come
I know.
on, I can't buy all of them. Well,
Yeah. I have generally, like, when it comes to like Marques, I'll only watch if it's Apple products that I'm interested
Yes.
in. Really, I'm not, or like a new product from some other company like Samsung. Whereas Gerald, I'll only watch if it's a product I want to buy. I'll never just sit down and watch a video because it's too in depth. Like, it's just too much. Like, fucking, I bought a Godox light purely based on his recommendation.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible video, but so much of that information, I was like, I don't even know what that means.
The
Where's the
the
on
other
button
thing
to
as
this
well
light?
is that And I think this is, again, like you're talking about constructor, as in like he's gone through all like the tests and all the, you know, the different, I don't know, temperatures, all the tech. I can't even like see. I can't even function on that level that he does.
All the tech all the
time. It's like for you and I, it's like that's great, Gerald, but my client told me we were going to shoot in this room. They've now said we're not shooting in that room. We're actually shooting in the little box in the back where the sound's really bad, and we've only got 10 minutes. Oh, and by the way, you know Dave, who's really good on camera, that was going to do the interview today.
This is Dave from Flat Earth.
Dave from Flat Earth. He's now not here, and you've got Sharon, who's never done camera work before. And you go, great. So we were going to have this big interview with your CEO Dave, who's now not turned up.
Yeah.
We're going to have it in the where all your products are in the main showroom, which we now can't use, and now we're in the shoe cupboard with Sharon, who doesn't want to be on camera. None of that tech, Gerald.
Typical Sharon,
makes
to be
any
fair.
difference in that situation. But
No.
the thing is that at the time you go for someone that's having, because that's what videos, in my personal opinion, video creation or video production is just constant problem solving. That's all it is. So you're like, well, how do
I think that's all creative, though.
yeah, that's possibly. That's true. Yeah. Well, I only know because of video.
Oh.
You know, that's all it is
Possibly.
it's
Yeah.
problem solving. And so all that tech
Yeah.
and all that bullshit that, they go, oh, it does this, it does that. It's like, you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Will it attach to your camera? Is there enough light to shoot this? And is there enough foresight to go, can I fix this in the edit? That's all you need to know.
Yeah. And
As far as I'm concerned.
yeah, basically, yeah. So, I don't know how we ended up on that,
don't know.
but when you think back to, so those videos are on the internet, you make that video and someone's like, shit, and you're like, keep it to yourself, fella. Don't worry about it, right? Not constructive. But I think when you start to look at like those videos, just to actually get back to what the fuck I was speaking about at the beginning, which was original thoughts. I definitely feel like that. I feel like sometimes I watch a video and I don't like a video, and my vibe on that is like, it doesn't really matter unless I think that video is like actually incorrect. If I don't like a video, I might very rarely dislike it on YouTube, right? You'd really need to piss me off to dislike it. For me to comment on a video, I'm just never. I barely like. I'll comment if I like something or if it's a bit of a conversation piece, but unless it's factually incorrect, I see no point in just writing my opinion on a video. There's no, unless it's an opinion on something that was asked within the video, because the person's created something and put it out there. And I think what's really interesting is like when you go to the cinema, you watch a movie, you walk out, and you say to your mates, "That was shit, that was good, I didn't like it, whatever," right? But at no point is there a direct forum where you can get on to the producer or the director or the actor and just go like, "Wanker." I mean, you can write it on Reddit, but
or
no
maybe
one cares.
their Instagram
but like
page or something.
Or maybe their Instagram page, but they're not looking at it. But on YouTube, a creator makes a video and pops a video up there, and then someone just goes, "This is shit," and the creator sees it, and you're like, "There's no need for that. Like this, it's up no use to man nor beast. So don't put it on there." So like, if I just don't like a video, that's it. I just go.
I just click away.
The way I look,
yeah.
The way I look at it is, if I like it, I'll like it. If I love it, I'll comment on it. If I do neither, I wasn't impressed.
Well, what I'll do,
but that's
generally,
okay.
if I don't like a video, I'll click away from it, get on the phone to you, and immediately moan about it.
Yeah, or phone Mr. YouTube and be like, "I just watched a video I didn't like. I'm paying for a subscription. Can you remove it?" But
You're not paying.
yeah, and I think, well, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. But I think the thing is, like, when I look at comments, quite often, like, I think that the video we're talking about, like, I was the same. I was like, I don't get it. Like, everyone's losing their shit about this. And then I went to the comments and I was like, when I watched it, I was like, not for me. Went to the comments and I was like, and I've done it on a few videos where you get into the comments and you go, what the fuck is everybody? But it's because there's a lot of people thinking the same as us, where it's like, I'm only going to write if I like. So I think, like, if you don't like the video, don't even look at the comments. Just crack on, because it's just confusing. And it does make you second guess a lot of what you are thinking and what your vibe is, what you think is right or wrong.
I think it's dangerous as well, especially on YouTube, because you can watch a video and like I do on my phone, I'll watch the video horizontally with all the crap underneath it. So when you get a little bit bored of whatever part of the video is, you start scrolling down and then you start seeing the comments. And then that immediately can start changing your whole perception of what you're watching, because you've seen someone else's thing, which is quite dangerous. Like, except when, when you go to a cinema, when we used to go to cinemas or watch movies.
When you go to the
When you go to the
pictures.
pictures. Or like when you're at home watching a film with Pamela and I'm with Yasmin or whatever, and you're watching it and they go, "Oh, this is a bit shit, isn't it?" And you're like, "But that's one person's opinion," and you go, "Oh, I disagree." And because it's like a 1-to-1, it's easier to have that conversation. But like, and even if you went to the cinema, there would be, someone might get up and walk out. It's like, well, did they go to the toilet, or have they walked out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're back. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just too much
Yeah.
beer before the show.
I used to work in the cinema, and people used to come out and ask for their money back if they didn't like something.
I used to work in a video shop, and the same thing used to happen. It's like, this was so,
It's so
shit, and it was
stupid.
like, yeah,
Can I have my
that
money
is
back?
that is a
Fuck
bit
off.
shit.
No.
But you did choose it,
Yeah.
so
I look at the movies or anything like that as a gamble.
yeah.
Yeah, you took a gamble. You watched Lemony Snickets. You didn't like it. When I worked at the cinema, right?
Yeah.
There were these boards we had to do. Right, you take these little individual letters and stick them on a board, right? Not digital. For all you Gen Z folk out there, there's no Gen Z watching this. Physical pieces of plastic stuck onto a little like felt
Yeah.
board. And you had to put them up, and I had to do them every week, and it was painful. So we used to for our own entertainment, just used to write weird shit up there, like spell things weirdly. And I remember one day, this is only going to be funny to Northern Irish people, but there was this movie called Lemony Snickets. Have you ever heard
Jim
of it?
Carrey, yeah.
Yeah. So Lemony Snickets was out, right? And people kept pronouncing things really weird, right? Really funny. And we're like 32 minutes into this. People would pronounce
So
things
do
really
you just want
funny.
to stop right there?
That wasn't one. I
I'm
was just
done.
like, how long am I going to talk
can't be
for about
bothered to
here?
tell this story.
I could go on. No, I was more thinking like I could go on here for a while. But so people would come up to the cinema and they'd like ask really stupid questions. And they'd say really stupid things. And you used to get like the real like Spidey dudes, like the chavs here. And they'd come up, and I used to love all the. I'm just a bit of a people observer, and I'd pay attention to people doing shit. So guys would come up and they'd lean in, and they'd be like, "Right, mate, to that there thingamy what's it film with your man in it," which is like, and people would be like, I would go, sorry, the what with the what? The fucking film with your man Jim Carrey, fucking Lemony Snickers or something, and it was always be making like random names up, right? So then one day for a laugh, we just wrote Lemon Snickers, so like up on the board, and this big lad came in and he was like, "Alright, guys, 2 tickets for the Lemon Snickers." Actually, no, he said that first. That's how we ended up with it. He said Lemon Snickers, and then we were like, write that on the fucking board. Someone changed that to Snickers. Lemon Snickers.
amazing.
But like, you used to get all these random, just like people reading whatever the fuck they wanted. Just like random shit. Just coming in and being like all sorts of. And it was like, especially when there was like movies that were like sequels. like it used to irritate me. Harry Potter. I worked in cinema when Harry Potter was out.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, I don't know, The Prisoner of Azkaban. And it would just be like, you used to get like the people that didn't give a fuck, and they would come in and be like, "Hi, can I get 2 tickets for Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban, or whatever the heck it was?" But then there would be like the I'm saying that like they just say whatever, but you'd have like the spies who couldn't be bothered learning the name, and they would just be straight up, "All right, mate, give us a ticket for Harry Potter," and then there'd be someone else who'd be like the mega nerd who would know the whole fucking name of it,
Yeah.
And it was always like the goofy like Sin City movies, or like the Marvel comic movies, or Star Wars, or whatever those sorts of things. Anytime those sort of nerdy movies and they'd be in with the entire name. And it was just one of those things. I just used to sit and watch people being like, I think about those people now, and I'm like, what are they writing in the comment section?
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're watching something going, "That's fucking shit. Not watching that shit." And you're just like, "Oh, right. Okay." Because those are the people throwing their opinions out there and just adding to the world. And I'm wondering, like, we're worried about what we think in the comments, yet there's people like that just throwing lemon Snickers into the world.
Well, at least it could be an original thought.
It could be.
I mean, you've got to.
So-
Do you think? Did he call it lemon Snickers because that's what his mate called it, or is he just gone? I just can't read
Potentially.
that. And it's just lemon
Potentially,
Snickers.
yeah.
That is a great
Yeah.
name though, lemon Snickers.
Lemon Snickers. It is good. But
Or was he
like,
taking the piss out of
wait,
you?
Like, he could have been. He could have been. I was just some long-haired hippie in their minds. But
That's true.
like,
Still
so do you think? So what do you think? Do you think there is an original thought, or do you think your thoughts are swayed a lot by online? I think I'm definitely swayed
I
online.
think I'm unusual. I say I don't want to be, but I am, because like today I put up a story and I thought it was funny because I'd clearly been watching this video about being a master at procrastination, and I'd only got about 2 minutes into it and obviously clearly done something else. That was funny, right? And then you sent me a photo of the picture you put up yesterday, I think it was, of you reading that book. And I remember about procrastination, and I remember seeing your post. I do not recollect at all what was written on your book. Like, it wasn't a conscious thought, but clearly I'd read it because I'd seen the photo, not thought about it, and then ended up watching a video about procrastination again because it had come up on my time.
Well, and what was even funnier is a friend of mine, Bridget, wrote on that post of mine. She wrote something like, "I was going to read that book, but I clearly haven't got around to it."
Oh, really?
And then you messaged me going, "I was clearly watching the thing, but never got around to finishing it." And I thought, like, it's moments like that. We'll see when that stuff happens. It's moments like that where I'm like, can the world just stop infiltrating my brain? Dear everyone on the planet, get the fuck out of my head.
Because I wonder,
like, it is really hard. It is really hard.
Because I wonder, would that have happened, back in the Middle Ages? How infiltrated could your brain be? Because it's like, well, you grow up, your dad's a blacksmith, you become a blacksmith, you teach your children how to be a blacksmith, and that's it. You know all 20 people in your village, and like
all smiths.
Well, there's a shoemaker in there, I'm sure, somewhere. But like, did they have the same problem? Did they just go, "Oh, all I know is blacksmith stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't take any of the sheep herding. It's just too much
They're
information."
all just sitting in there. They're all just sitting in their little huts with their straw roofs, just doing live tutorials on blacksmithing. Hey, folks, welcome back to the hut today.
Today we're going to be
looking at this piece of iron.
We're going to be bashing it into King Herod's sword. Please,
I don't think we've.
Please subscribe
I don't think
and
we've
like.
come around. Subscribe. Come back. And there's
Come
a
back.
fucking physical bell, and someone comes on. You ring the bell, and then people walk up and they go,
Can you imagine
tutorial?
having to do that? Like, you're watching a tutorial, you have to get up out of your chair and just go, "Oh, I like this bit." Ding.
Dude, that would be a great YouTube video, though, wouldn't it?
Well, this is the ultimate test here.
A YouTube in real life.
This is an ultimate test here. I've not seen that on YouTube. Have you seen that on YouTube? Maybe we should Google it.
The thing is,
but
like,
now it's going to be on YouTube.
I was just gonna say that and leave it there, right? And then see if someone makes it. But now they know. Yeah, we know you're listening to this idea.
Yeah.
But that would be so good. Like, set up a YouTube set and do like a live, and like have all the bells and shit.
Could you
so
imagine,
people can
it's
read
like
it.
when you do it and some guy at the back goes, "Actually, this is just heckling, isn't it, basically? You're fucking shit," and then leave. Is that what they do in Clubhouse?
Social heckling, social media.
But do you think...
At least just leaving quietly out the back door.
Do you think that, like, because as a heckler, like when you go and see a comedy show and they'll just give you shit like, "Oh, that's not very funny," or "You're shit," but like at any point do they go, "I think you're shit and I hope your wife gets raped and your children die"? And you're like,
wow,
well, no,
fucking
because
hell,
that's what
son.
some trolls do, like,
Ding,
unnecessarily.
True.
And it's just like, wow, that's just like, where does that come from?
I say that in shock.
Yeah.
But like,
that happens, right?
I'm not lying here, but like, there was a dude here who pretty much said that to me.
What?
Like, I had a dude troll me. I've had a couple of people troll me on the old socials.
Oh.
But a dude legit said that. He said that to me. Like, it was something along the lines of that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's
remember
really,
what it was.
that's pretty. But you wouldn't do that heckling, would you? Like, just stand up in a comedy store and say that to someone. Or say that to
No,
it's like,
no.
You can say you're shit. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you're very good. Your comedy's not funny.
Yeah.
You're shit. And that's kind of acceptable.
Yeah.
But like, to say other
Yeah.
shit like that, it's just like, wow, that's like, that's a whole nother level of asshole. And I think that's the problem, is that people feel okay.
And
doing
even
that.
with a threat, like a really vicious, like dark threat like that, you have to ask yourself, Is that an original threat? Right? Or did he hear that somewhere else?
He probably heard it somewhere else. Goes, oh, that's a great cuss. I'm going to put that out.
I'll use that rape threat next time.
Yeah.
Next time I shout at him. You're like, don't, fella.
Yeah.
Loads of people have done that.
Loads of people have done that. I tell you what would be really original.
It's
is just for you to shut the fuck up and not write. If
That's
anyone
probably the
wants to
most
be
original
original
thought.
here, just don't write anything online. I think that's the best way
Don't
to
write
do it.
anything. Don't put anything on the nets.
Nothing.
Anyway, look, that's us. 40 minutes.
Boom.
You know, we're trying to keep, as we said at the beginning, we're keeping these to 30 minutes. Impossible.
I think 40 minutes. Well, we
Impossible.
say 30 minutes, likely going to 40. So I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I'm not sure if we came around where we
Well,
needed to in the
I
end
think
there.
it's basically, if you have any original thoughts, please put them in the comment section below.
So they can be ripped off immediately. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't
just
know what
no
deems
trolling.
an original thought
No
anymore.
trolling.
Yeah. But that's, this factually,
Mm-hmm.
you can't argue with the facts here. This has been another episode
Yeah.
of a show where two guys just,
Original thoughts.
waffle some shit for
Just come in
the guts
all
of
the
40
way.
minutes. But look, thanks for watching. Hope you folks are enjoying the show, or it's like, even if it's just killing a bit of time, maybe you've taken a long toilet break, a boring drive, maybe you're in the garage reorganizing boxes, standing in a queue at Tesco, because they're about 4-hour queues now, aren't they, just to buy something in Tesco.
Yeah.
Maybe you're doing something like that and you're having to listen to the two of us. Maybe we've warmed your ear holes, entertained your eye sockets,
I was going to say
Who
something
knows?
else then, but I'm not going to put that original thought out there.
No, don't. But we'll catch you guys in the next
See you
episode.
soon.
Peace out.